Baptist off Airline Highway. I'm here in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame studios, and this show today is presented by L'Auberge Casino, where Tommy and I will both be on Sunday night for the first pitch banquet, and TK and Dan and Skip and all the boys for Hold the Rope Radio will be broadcasting live from 4 to 6 at L'Auberge Casino. So stop by, see them, and hang out, get some autographs, whatever. An autographed baseball goes for a lot of money on some auctions. Today on Sports Shorts Daily, we are going to talk about Joey Burrow. Everybody's a Bengals fan. If you're an LSU fan for football or a Saints fan, you've probably jumped to the Bengals fan. You're now a Who Dey fan. They're in action tomorrow at 3:30 against the Titans, a Titanic test for Joey B and his teammates on the road, trying to knock off a well-rested number 1 seed in Tennessee. They're going to get Derrick Henry back, Tommy, and Bengals, what kind of underdog are they for this game? Tommy, did we lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm trying to share. I'm liking and sharing like everybody needs to do.
All right. Also, we'll get back to TK on that one. We're here just a sec. We'll break. We'll talk about that game. Also, LSU basketball. They got to get back in the winning column. They've lost a couple in a row in the SEC play. They tomorrow, 5 o'clock, they're at Tennessee. That's a Vols team that they beat handily in the PMAC, but obviously they're not playing very well right now. Can't put the biscuit in the basket, and they're going to be on the road, Tennessee, with a chip on their shoulder, clearly. So that's a big game for both teams. Both teams kind of scuffling, got to right the ship. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The line will come out this afternoon. We'll break it down tomorrow on Sports Shorts Daily. We'll have a free pick for you on Sports Shorts Daily. Just listen to 104.5 between 10 and noon. We'll get into some other NFL games that are going on right now and a whole lot more. Let's bring in Tommy now. TK, tell us, Joe Burrow, are you buying him? Do you think, it's so hard to buy a first, second-year quarterback, no matter how good they are. But, hey, Dan Marino in his second year took the Dolphins all the way to the Super Bowl, although they didn't win it. This is a giant test on the road against a team that's been sitting around for 2 weeks waiting for you.
Yeah, well, I read, too, that Tennessee changed their ticket policy. They're trying to keep Bengal fans out of the stands. I don't know. I guess they could do that because
what did they do? How they change it?
You can't transfer tickets till like less than 24 hours before the kickoff. So in other words, can a person get to the game from Cincinnati? Blah blah blah. Because the Bengals, they're excited about their team. They should be.
Sure.
It's not that far from Cincinnati to Nashville. They're thinking, hey, they're just trying to help their home team out. Now back to Joe Burrow, man. What a story! And of course, lots of Joe Burrow fans in Louisiana and Baton Rouge. And as we have said, they do play the Saints in the Superdome next year. No date announced yet, but that will be one of the games, home games for the Saints. Ronnie, Joe Burrow, look, don't be surprised at anything he accomplishes, but I don't know if he can get past Tennessee. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. They run the ball. Their defense is really good. I mean, if Burrow wins, and I'm not saying he won't, it's going to be an amazing story. I mean, look, Matthew Stafford just got his first playoff win last week. He's been around for a long time and, got the big arm. Derek Beckwith talked about him playing against him in college, how good his arm was. But, Joe Burrow, I mean, he's cocky enough where he may just get out there and get it done. I mean, all short lines on all 4 games this weekend. The first one up's the Bengals, and I'm not saying he can't win it, but you might have to look at the fact that the Titans are the number 1 seed for a reason. And the Bengals, I don't want to say lucky, but, that was shaky, that win last week against the Raiders. That wasn't like you weren't in the rocking chair in the fourth quarter in that one just cruising. Right. I mean, Raiders had the ball on the 10-yard line, could have tied it late. You had the touchdown by Joe Burrow that the NFL not only blew the call but lied to everybody about the call. I can't believe they did that. But, so that it wasn't like they whipped the Raiders up and down the field, and the Raiders weren't all that good. So you throw all that in there, you might have to lean to Tennessee, Ronnie.
I'm going to take Tennessee because I believe in the lift, the emotional lift that they're going to get from the fan base and a team when Derrick Henry comes running out. and Derrick Henry is the real deal in an era in a league that is not there. You look around, it's not a running league. It's definitely a passing league, and most teams have 3 running backs and 2 that they feature, but 3 that they play a lot. Tennessee, when Derrick Henry's healthy, it's Derrick Henry, and they run the ball to pass the ball. Everybody else passes to run it a little bit. And that's the kind of style, too, that they like to play. They're a big defensive-minded squad. They're going to be at home, bad weather. This is a defense, run the football, eat the clock, keep the ball away from Joe Burrow and his opportunities and possessions to score. I like Tennessee in this spot. I think first game on the road in the NFL in the playoffs as a young quarterback, and he is a young quarterback, and from a standpoint of this is inexperience. He only started 2 years in college. He didn't even play a full season last year because he got hurt halfway through with the knee. And here we are, this year, first experience on the road. So weeks ago, limped off the field for the 15th game of the year, didn't play the 16th, the final game of the year, the 17 games is throwing me off. But I like Tennessee in this one. Obviously, I'd love to be wrong. I hope Joe Burrow and the boys shock the world and their great story continues. But I got to take Tennessee. This is a spot where traditionally the home team would win it, Tommy.
Well, Ronnie, a fact is that in the last 3 years in the divisional round, the home team's 10-2. Now, I don't mean against the spread. I'm talking about winning the game. I didn't look up the spread part of it. 10-2 to the home team in the divisional round last 3 years in the NFL. That would also think you should lean to Tennessee. Going to be fun. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be with my grandkids tomorrow afternoon and evening, and they're all fired up about watching Joe Burrow. Lots of Joe Burrow fans around here of all ages. So I'm curious to see how it's going to happen. And if Burrow and his team can find a way to win, wow, what a story, what a start to the weekend.
All right, so they're going to play tomorrow, and we'll talk more about it. Derry Beckwith will give his take on the game as well. The other game tomorrow is 49ers and Packers. 49ers, man, they're playing good football. I mean, they won that game. They came from behind. Garoppolo had one of his best second halves in overtimes of his career against the Rams to get into the playoffs, and they kept that sense of urgency going last week as the 49ers got a big win. So I would say that the Packers, though, much like Tennessee, Tommy, I don't want to go to Tennessee in this nasty weather and have Derrick Henry at 6'5", 250 pounds running you over, nor do I want to go to Lambeau in this worse weather and have to deal with Aaron Rodgers, that fan base, and that frozen tundra.
No question. Lambeau Field will be an advantage. Garoppolo's got a shoulder and a thumb thing. The cold weather can't be good for that. Mm-hmm. All these California boys going to roll in. This is the biggest line of the week, albeit only 5.5. Which is still, wise guys say one play either way can win the game at the end. But I think you just got to like the Packers, the 1 seed, them and the Titans, the 1 seed. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, he's got a thing too. He'd love to win the Super Bowl and say, hey, I didn't get vaccinated, but I still won the Super Bowl. He can't wait to say that.
Right. By the way, Packers in week 3 won on the road at the 49ers 30-28. It was a great comeback, last-minute field goal type deal. As 49ers thought they had the game won, they left a little too much time on the clock for Aaron Rodgers. He took them down the field. But I like the Packers in this one, Tommy. I really do. I think, again, there's so much to be said for that home field advantage in the NFL, which means more now than it ever did because only one team gets it. And for them to be at home in that environment, so different than what the 49ers are used to with a banged-up quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers is playing as good a football in the last 2 years as he has in his career. So even though it's a 5.5-point spread, I'm going to take the Packers to cover this one.
I would think so. And don't forget, meatandpotatoesusa.com. We have a lot of picks posted, all with the money back guarantee this weekend.
Cool thing is tomorrow we'll be talking about it, and Tommy's going to have a couple of free ones. You've been on fire, man. You're picking probably at about an 80% clip over the last week and a half or so on all sports. But we'll break it down tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be for Sports Shorts Radio at a brand new location. We're really excited about the fifth Saturday of every month, and over the course of the year, that's 4 of them. Mr. Carter's Barbershop. It's a Prairieville location. It's right there at 17540 Airline Highway, just right when you kind of get into Prairieville in the shopping center over there. We're excited about going to Brandon's spot, Mr. Carter's Barbershop. I know we'll be there. The cool thing is, and we'll show it. We'll have a little video for you if you follow us on Facebook, on Sports Shorts. Go to Facebook, look for the little white circle that says Sports Shorts in red. Follow that one and give us a follow. Tomorrow we'll have a video and all from there. And it's a really great barbershop. Brandon used to work at some other spots over the years. I've seen him. He's a fantastic barber. He's got a great partner with him as well, a number of chairs. But they've got a whole bar area. It's great to hang out, get a cocktail, watch a game. And that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So
I think I'll get there. I'm gonna get there and get me a Bloody Mary. Right?
There you go. Not a bad idea. But that's Mr. Carter's Barbershop, Prairieville location, 17540 Airline.
Hey, they're on Facebook. Go like their Facebook page. I just did that this morning, and we'll tag them for you tomorrow when I promote the Sports Shorts Radio.
All right. So for the games for tomorrow, and we'll talk plenty more with Joel Davis and Derek Beckwith tomorrow on Sports Shorts Radio. But for the games for tomorrow, Tommy, I like the Titans on the money line, and I like Green Bay to cover the 5.
Titans on the money line.
Titans on the money line.
Oh,
you got to give up something, but I'm not trusting Joey B. I think that's part of my heartstrings right there. Is that I think the Titans are going to win. I don't know if they cover though. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I think Joe Burrow is going to win a lot of playoff games in his career, but I don't think one of them is going to be tomorrow.
Right. If you can find a buddy, and there's a lot of buddies that are giant Joey Burrow, Cincinnati Bengal fans right now, and just bet a buddy. Hey man, I'll give you $200 or $100 or whatever. $200, you take the Bengals, I'll take the Titans. And if he has a couple cold pops in him, maybe you don't want to ask for the points because he's all Mr. Joey Burrowed up. So that would be the way to go. Let's talk. A guy who needs a hug and a win in the worst way right now is Will Wade. LSU basketball dropped a couple in a row, and unfortunately, Tommy, I don't want to say this is going to be a trend. But the problems that LSU basketball has losing over the last 2 games have been the problems that they've had all season long. They've just were able to cover them up and overcome them anyway and have these big second half comebacks. But foul trouble and not being able to find the person to put the biscuit in the basket on a consistent basis. Eason's getting his numbers, but like Days will have a big game and then disappear. Murray will have a big game and then disappear. They just don't have that consistency of a scorer.
I think they got to almost turn to the bench and see if somebody can get hot, that they wouldn't have normally thought could get hot. Because, the other teams, they know it now. They got the book. They know they cannot shoot. Let them take a 3, rebound so they don't get a second shot. And, that's the plan against LSU. And they know LSU's going to play tough defense. They've been committing a lot of fouls. You're going to get to the free throw line. I mean, it got to do a 180 here and get it going the other way. I don't know, because Pinson possibly back for Tennessee tomorrow.
He's questionable. He's questionable.
Yeah, so that would be a lift. That would be a very good thing. And look, Will Wade's a smart guy. He knows what's going on here. He's going to have to dig into his bag of tricks and figure out a way to convince these guys to, get the ball in the basket. I mean, you can't, good defense is great, but you can't win if you can't score the ball.
So the LSU basketball, I think, is they are who they are. And what I mean by that is I think these issues are going to continue forever. Oftentimes in sports, Tommy, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, any sport, we just assume wrongfully that, this guy's been here 3 or 4 years. He's going to continue to get better and better and better and better. And that's not usually the case. That's what we hope for. That's what coaches sell kids. Come to my program and you're going to get better each and every year and you're going to play for championships. sometimes guys are just who they are. You know what I mean? Like, you can't assume because a guy hits 250 his freshman year with 100 at-bats that he's going to hit 275 his sophomore year with 200 at-bats and 300 his junior. You can't assume that. Sometimes guys plateau. Sometimes they get worse. Sometimes they get a little better. Most times they don't get a lot better. And we're seeing that with Days, right? We wanted him back. We were so excited to get him back. You know, he didn't go pro, which would have been the mistake, obviously. You know, he's not an NBA guy. He'd have been maybe making money overseas in some league or the G League or something. But Days has not made that move. He has not made that move to being the dude, the alpha male in the team. You know, he hasn't gotten a lot better defensively. He hasn't become a better scorer. He is who he always is, and probably worse than what we thought he would be because the expectation is high for him now. Before, he was the fourth option, and we were like, just whatever we got out of him, we get 10 points a game, great. Now we need him to get 15 points a game, and he just can't.
Well, he needs to step it up. You're right. I mean, he has a good night and then he disappears. That's a great description. He needs to step it up and commit to the team that, hey, I got to be better. I mean, he obviously he's got the talent. He's got the ability, but he needs to be more consistent and help this team because if he's hot, Ronnie, or if he's hitting, that opens up things for other players, opens up things in the paint. So we all know the drill. I mean, they need him or somebody's got to be able to threaten the defense with that shot.
And I would, you know, I don't know. I'm definitely on the fence and thinking that LSU basketball down the stretch in the SEC play, I get the feeling they're like a 500 team the rest of the way, and that'll be good enough for them to get into the NCAA tournament. But, you know, the hype that we had a couple of weeks ago and the belief that we had that this team might be a top, you know, Final 8 squad or, hey, you know, the Final 4 is in New Orleans this year. Like all that ridiculousness.
You got to pipe that down right now. We can revisit that in a couple of weeks, depending on how they do. But it's a big one in Knoxville on Saturday evening. Very big. Like you said, for both teams, really big for LSU.
Stephen Miller saying, thinking that Efton Reed is just going to figure it out and get better over the rest of the SEC is just foolish. Like you said, 17 games in, and they are what they are. That's absolutely right. Also, this is talking about Days. 6 SEC games and Days have scored double digits twice. Yeah, definitely not what Wade had hoped for. Remember last year, the stat on Days, like when he scored 10 points, the Tiger or more, they were like undefeated or something. You know, it's kind of the same thing. He's not even getting that part done. By the way, stumbled upon something that was interesting, Tommy. And I saw this with some other players and other athletes as well, and other schools even. But here's the NIL thing. This is one of the new workarounds, right? Blue Chip just sent a sponsored email to me. It says, hey, LSU baseball fans, show your support for Jacob Berry and be the first super fan in Baton Rouge to show off Jacob's brand new collection of hoodies, hats, and T-shirts. Visit our website to check out the complete Berry collection. You won't be disappointed. Shop the Berry collection at bluechipteam.com. So folks out there, go to bluechipteam.com. And then look, it's got like JB, like Jacob Berry, his initials, his logo, and I mean, unbelievable. Okay, this basically what this is. Hey, give me money for it. I'll give you a T-shirt or a hat or something like that. You know, it's a way for people that want to support him legally. You can do, and I've seen that with other schools and other athletes as well. They all are coming out with their own line of clothes. I'm sure it's the same companies that are, you know, hooking them up.
Well,
you order it. You got somebody heat pressing in the back and all that. We got one. Ship that hoodie to New Orleans.
Well, you know, there's a football player at LSU, Major Burns, who I coached in travel baseball, and he's got his own line of stuff too. Because Major and I connect on Instagram because I used to coach him, and we converse on Instagram with private messages a little bit. And he's got his own stuff going too, and that's perfect for him because he's like always been that stylish swag guy. Even when I coached him in travel ball, he thought he was Willie Mays.
The Jacob Berry hats aren't bad.
Did he get you one?
You can't see it.
Okay. Yeah. See, everybody got a logo now.
Yeah, that logo is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the home plate thing. Okay, I get it. I like it.
Yeah, Jacob Berry. But
Yeah, very good.
$40.
America's a great country, Ronnie, and now it's great for student athletes. See, we didn't have that when you and I played, but I could see you would have had stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You would have you'd have had your own line of clothes. You're like GQ guy.
Come when you take us. I'm trying to see.
What are you looking for?
Trying to see if there's other athletes. By the way, did you see there was I've seen various little commercials now. Walker High, Thomas, the wide receiver, he did a commercial for Neighbors Federal Credit Union.
Correct. Yeah.
I saw him. I've seen other little things starting to pop up. It's gonna be interesting. If Cox Sports Television was still around and LSU baseball wasn't playing all of its games on the streaming site, which it's great for the fans. All the games are on ESPN Plus. A lot of them, you can stream, but there's no advertising other than the commercials that run and those are ESPN commercials that the computer just automatically puts in there. Right. But there's no in-game live reads. There's no starting lineup brought to you by stuff. There's no local insertion of commercials. So when you have those local commercials, that's when you would get all those things. Now, I think Your View, which is Cox Cable Channel 4, which is in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and New Orleans, and it also has a Your View app, which means even if you don't have Cox Cable, you can download the Your View app and watch it on there because everything's streamed. We are going to do LSU at Louisiana Tech in Ruston. Okay. And then I think one other LSU, maybe at UNO or something. So they're looking at doing 2 games. I mean, that's all they can get their hands on. All the games in Houston will be on TV. Those won't be Cox Sports Television games. Those will be on, I think, Rouge or something like that. But yeah, we are going to do 2 games on the road for LSU baseball this year. And
maybe you got my number.
Yeah, we'll see some NIL deals on that one. Yeah, that's a Brenner deal all the way.
I'll call Jeff.
Let's see. Uniforms going to look like here's Byron Boehner saying uniforms are going to look like NASCAR. Now, LSU's not allowing that, at least just yet, Tommy. They're not allowing it.
It's coming. Follow the money. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Today's hat brought to you by,
Well, here's the thing:
today's hat brought to you by Red Zone Fundraising. Red hat with your RZ like you got on your chest, and then LSU on the other side. That's coming. The
first college that allows it. Like, hey, Mr. Quarterback, we want you to transfer to our school. We'll help coordinate an NIL deal for you, or if the kid says, "I'll come to your school, but I got an NIL deal, but I got to wear the logo on my chest or my sleeve or something." The first school that says yes. Everybody, monkey see, monkey do. Everybody's going to follow, exactly. And you're going to have to do it, to keep up with the Joneses. So
Ronnie, this goes back. I mean, you remember the Dream Team when Michael Jordan put the towel over, I think it was the Reebok logo, who had done the warm-ups or the uniforms for Team USA. Right. And he didn't want to say it because he was a Nike guy, obviously. And he put that towel and he got maligned about it and all that. But he was actually being very smart. And then he got attention because he was a Nike guy, and that's before it is what it is today. So it was actually a good marketing twist, if you will. Right. Whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. But look, it's it was I spoke at the Knights of the Round Table yesterday in Baton Rouge, and I said, I've been able to separate all the other stuff and just watch baseball or watch football or watch basketball. It took me a little while. Didn't happen overnight. But now I'm able to block out all other stuff and watch the pitcher try to get the batter out, watch the shortstop make a great play, watch the quarterback throw a perfect pass. That's all I'm focused on.
Right. It's kind of sad, Tommy, because I do believe that the day is coming in the future.
I got to throw this in there, Ronnie. The other day in one of the football games, the guy from the Rams, Aaron Donald, on the back of his helmet right here, it had "Stop Hate," and he was strangling somebody on the other team. He had his hands around his throat. Wait a minute, your helmet says "Stop Hate," and you're trying to strangle your opponent. Come on, I mean, ridiculous.
I do think the day is going to come pretty soon with college football where it's going to feel different. It's going to, and it's too soon, not yet.
2-3 years, it's going to be.
You're not going to be as connected.
This is what you're going to see, Ronnie. I'm going to make a prediction for you, okay? In 2 or 3 years, not every game is going to be streamed or on TV because they know people aren't watching. Okay?
Right.
They know they can't afford to put the money out if there's no eyeballs on it. I think in a 2-3 year window, that'll be the tip off when you start saying, well, you know what, these 3 games aren't on this week. Maybe they'll go back to the Jumbo Sports Network having an opportunity and the local insertion. But I'm telling you, that's where it's headed, Ronnie, because this is all about money. And when you start seeing that Wyoming versus Utah games not on TV,
why do you think that game wouldn't be on TV? To me, TV survives.
Money.
It's the donations and it's the tickets and all that.
Well, people aren't watching. TV can't survive if they're not.
Yeah, but
watching.
they got to have you got to have more program than ever, and so TV's getting in some ways cheaper to do than ever. Heck, as a society, we're fine with not flying our talent and stats and all those people to the games. You know how much money ESPN and all these companies are saving by not sending their talent on the road. And there's other people that go with the talent, and then they're finding out cameras can be worked remotely, and you let less crew, and just technology is cheap. So the price of doing games is actually going down. The production side of it.
Ronnie, 2 years ago,
got more channels. You need more programming than ever.
Ronnie, 2 years ago, I worked for the NFL Network on a Conference USA game, Tech Southern Miss in Ruston. There were 55 people on the crew that day. 55.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
That same game's going to have 24 people next year.
Right. Yeah, that's completely unnecessary. So I just think I think more than the TV, because again, I disagree with you on that. I think the coverage is always going to be there. But the thing that I think is that the booster buy-in, the people that you need to pay these $20 million salaries and shit like that, and buyouts and all that crap, right? The people that you need to build that stadium to have the biggest weight room in all of the SEC or whatever. Those people are not going to feel as connected when they literally have a new roster every year. When they don't know, there's no loyalty by the coaches. The minute they can make a dime more somewhere else, they go. The more they get guaranteed money, they go. There's no loyalty from the players. Hey, what is it? Is it an L? Or what do we do here at L? I'm at LSU, right? An L. Hey, and then the next year they're doing something else. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But it's just they're paid professionals. They might not make as much as the NFL players, but they're professionals, and that's what. It's just, what can you do for me lately? I'm gonna jump from team to team to team based on the NIL deals and the money. It's just oogie, and I think over time, slowly, it's going to affect the rah-rah and of that school for those players, because there's zero connection. I mean, Alabama actually has it right, Tommy. Take the names off the back of the uniforms, right? Because that's the only way, right? Like we care for LSU, but we care for Alabama. That's all it's going to be. You're not going to know who's, other than the 5-star players, you're going to know anybody because they're in and out, and there's no such thing as a program anymore. Wi-Fi, you got to get it in the stadium. I mean, it's just a professional sport with lesser paid pros. That's all it is.
I agree.
It's like the Arena League versus Arena 2. NFL's the Arena League, and the college is now the AFL 2. All right. Let's see what else we got here, TK. We got those games tomorrow. We're gonna have Sports Church Radio tomorrow.
Hold the Rope Radio Sunday 4 to 6 on ESPN 104.5. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. We'll be in front of the first pitch banquet for LSU baseball out at LaBear's Casino Hotel. So be sure to listen in 4 to 6 on Sunday. Lots of baseball stuff. I mean, we got guests lined up, the whole bit. Skip Bertman, Dan Canterbury, and myself.
All right, so of the 4 games this weekend, the Titans are a 3.5-point favorite over the Cincinnati at home. Packers are a 5.5-point favorite over the 49ers at home. And on Sunday, you got the Bucs are a 2.5-point favorite over the Rams, and the Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite at home against the Bills. That's the game of the weekend as far as for my money. As far as the best game and the one that truly you don't know where it's going to go. But of all those 4 games, which underdog wins? You got the
Who?
Bills, you got the Rams, you got the 49ers, and
Of
the
the
Bengals.
four, I think the best chance is the Bills. And I got a Sports Shorts Daily free pick for everybody in that game. Over 53.5 Bills Chiefs. Go over 53.5 Bills Chiefs. Be a lot of points scored by both teams. I think overs got good value. And don't forget meatandpotatoesusa.com. Lots of picks there with a money back guarantee.
Stephen Miller asking Sunday 4 to 6. Is it open to the public? Do you know where you're going to be? Is that the
We're going to be
paid
in
part
the
or the
lobby
free
of the event center.
So that's the paid part.
Yeah, you're going to have to be going to the banquet, which is sold out. The first pitch banquet, I think there's 700 tickets.
There's a waiting list. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think you can walk up to our table
where
we're going to be.
Yeah, that's
so. But we're going to have lots of bait. Please tune in, and then the following week, we'll be back over at Sammy's Grill.
Okay.
I'm assuming. Can you get to the lobby area of the event?
No, they're going to catch you. They're going to catch you on the bridge before on that bridge before you get.
We'll be in there near the refreshment area.
Yeah, right by the bathroom.
We're going to have a table set up. We have the ESPN sign and table skirt. We're going to have it all. Going to look good. I'll post some pictures on the Hold the Rope Facebook page.
All right, so that's going to be a cool deal going on. All right, Tommy and I'll be back on Monday. We'll talk about all the great weekend action and tell us about Tremonti's as we get out of here, TK.
Lunch special today, fried catfish with the crawfish etouffee on it. That'll warm you up. They just restocked all the wine behind me, the whiskey, everything you need at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Connect on Facebook and Instagram. The Chairman's Reserve meats, the Wagyu steaks, the ribeye rolls, the shrimp rolls. Got to check it out real soon. I had a friend that came in here last week, and he bought a cheeseburger stuffed chicken. Chicken stuffed with cheeseburger. He's coming back to get another one. So, Anyway, Sydney. Okay, Sydney, I'll help you work on that. A little meat and potatoes NIL deal.
All right, like and share this for us. Help us out. Hit that like and share. Appreciate it. And we'll see everybody on Monday. Until then, stay warm.